this, but almost nobody asks who built it and why. 54 days in Sri Lanka. And the most famous thing we did was the thing I thought about least. Part of the Kandy to Ella train that was still open. One of the most photographed train journeys in Asia, 2.5 hours through a landscape so extraordinary you run out of ways to describe it. But here's the thing about a landscape like this, it didn't just happen. Somebody made it. There are places you visit because they're on the list, and there are places that make you stop and try and understand what you're actually looking at. Who built all of this? Does it matter? There's the version you take a picture of, and there's the version somebody had to build. What happens when you stop looking at the postcard? We came for the tea train. That's not the story.
Ambewela, please, yes.
We built the entire trip around this day. 3 months of detailed planning for a 35-day journey. One train ride, and one of the main reasons why we needed the private driver. We'd catch the train and he could take the luggage. So we were staying in Nuwara Eliya to give us easy access to Ambewela train station that would then take us up to Ella. We were too busy chatting and missed a turning in the fog. 10 minutes later we realised 20 minutes before we got back to the road junction, and then the fog came down. Mel didn't say anything. She didn't need to. Every glance out the window said the same thing. We're going to miss this one.
We made it. Yoo-hoo! Unfortunately, it's a pea super of a day, which is not ideal for camera work. But we made it here, and I can't tell you how stressful that was. Look how foggy it is. We've been following coaches, we've been driving at breakneck speeds, and our driver had taken a wrong turn, and it took us 10 minutes to work it out. And of course, we lost 25 minutes by the time we turned round. So not the best start of the day, but we are on the iconic blue train, headed towards Ella. Should take 2 hours from here, and we are most excited. So they say you should travel on the right-hand side of the train, but of course that depends which direction you're going. We're heading towards Ella from Ambewela, and if you sit on the right-hand side, you don't get much of a view at all. It's mostly looking at the hillside, waterfalls, occasionally snapshots, where on the left you seem to get a much better view.
And so for over 2 hours it was everything you'd expect it to be. The views, the wind, the thrill of hanging out of a moving train pretending that it was a sensible thing to do. People waited their turn to capture their shots, although at times some people just seemed to be oblivious to the risks that they were taking.
Wow. Once more with feeling. Thank you for the train journey. What a memory.
But here's what nobody tells you about the most famous train journey in Asia. There wasn't a single Sri Lankan on it. Not one. Every seat, every doorway, every photograph. Tourists. Photographing tourists. Photographing the same view. But somewhere between the selfie sticks and the elbows for position, something didn't fit. The people who actually live here aren't on this train. Now maybe that is as a result of Cyclone Ditwah. The locals can't commute like they used to until the full line from Colombo is open again. But if the people who live here aren't on this train, who is this all actually for? To see what was behind those tea fields, we had to go higher, much higher. The roads narrowed. The drops got worse. At some point, our driver Shan's clutch started making sounds no clutch should ever make. We were climbing into someone else's postcard, one hairpin bend at a time. Our first destination in tea country was the Badulla Tea and Echo Lodge, located in the central province with views over the majestic Knuckles mountain range. Lush tea plantations hug every hillside. The lodge has basic rooms in tents. You're not really paying for the room, you're paying for the moment the mist clears. But when the mist clears, this was underneath. It's hard to describe the magic of the mornings in Badulla. Every morning at sunrise, you could hear singing in the distance as the tea pluckers made their way to the fields. Hearing a rustling outside our tent, we quickly came to realize why the hotel suggested you always keep your tent locked. We soon became accustomed to their morning ritual, quietly working their way up the hill, pinching what they could find. It's got the coffee mate.
Good morning, ladies. Morning. How are you? Good. Have a good day. I managed to take one wrong turn already, which is typical me. I went up where all the other units are, and then the guide said, nope, you're going the wrong way. What a day. Absolutely stunning. So I'm following this little road, this track, and I heard a motorbike, so I must be close to the road again.
Just when I was getting completely lost, I met a local farmer who insisted I came and inspected his chicken house.
Wonderful. That's great. Thank you. Oh, you got rabbits. Hello. Oh, they're very happy, aren't they?
2, 3, 4.
2 turkeys.
Really? Yeah. This girl.
That's a girl.
This boy.
Oh, this boy, I see. I see. Well, I just made a new friend, which was very lovely. He showed me his cock and his chickens and his turkey and his turkey's wife and his rabbits, and we went to see a neighbour who had a whole bunch of little puppies, which was very pleasant. And then he pointed out, not firmly but kindly, I'm on his property, can you get off? And here's the main road, which is what I'm now doing. I think I'm nearly at the top. It's quite a hike, and fortunately the sun has gone in. It can come back out again this afternoon if it doesn't mind. And you can see I'm in the rich land division, so that's quite good. The eagle or whatever it was is gone, so I'm going to continue up, and hopefully once we get to the very top there'll be a cracking view. So I've been guided to come down this road. This is obviously where the tea pickers live, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if that wasn't the estate manager's house up there. It's a very grand looking view, isn't it? Right, I just met my new friend who's telling me all about the area. Would you like to introduce yourself? So what is your name?
My name is Subramaniam.
People call me Jez, it's easier. And my wife has a bad knee, so she can't walk. Go and have a big walk and then come back and tell me what you did. So I'm going to go up there, look at the view.
If you go on the road,
yes,
there you can note it now. At that junction, you can see up to Peradeniya.
Really?
Very that side.
Yes.
Everywhere you can find. If you have seen, sometimes you may comment. Thank you. You will say thank you to me.
I will say thank you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Really nice to meet you. God bless.
Okay, thank you.
Ciao, ciao. See you.
And true to his word, Mr. Subramaniam was right. And the view was stunning. I stopped seeing scenery. I started seeing work.
At the end of my walk, I've actually walked just over 4.5 kilometres so far. So probably about 8 by the time I get back. Because I've made a couple of detours on the way up, but really nice. Met a whole bunch of lovely people. Everyone smiles, everyone waves, everyone wants to know where you're from. It's just a really, really nice country. No pushiness, not trying to sell you anything. My goodness, there's a lot of countries that could learn a lot from Sri Lanka, including our own. Sorry to say it. Interesting. The guy did ask me, did I like Ceylon? So there's a story, isn't it?
An hour or so from Kandy and 4 hours from Colombo, Madulkelly and places like it became the beating heart of tea production. Our scenery just became work. And now we find out what that work actually looks like.
Well, this is a real treat. Courtesy of my son, I've got an introduction to the manager at Pedro's Tea Estate, here in Nuwara Eliya. This is our first visit to a tea factory. Now, unfortunately, because yesterday was Independence Day, they weren't plucking, which means there's no actual production today.
Most people of a certain age will be more familiar of James Taylor, the musician, not James Taylor, the pioneer of tea. As far as tea in Sri Lanka is concerned, people are more likely to be familiar with another Scot, Sir Thomas Lipton. We were lucky enough to visit his legacy at Dambatenne Tea Factory, and shortly we'll take you inside both factories to see one almost at rest while the other in full action. To demonstrate the process, I volunteered to be weighed. 82 kilos all in, carrying my gear. I was quite happy with that.
Two ways of manufacturing, broken tea or leaf tea. When you go for the broken type of tea, we have to use that cutter. Raw leaves fall down to the hopper.
We treated to an expert description of the process. You could hear the building. How many hands it takes, how many hours, how many leaves, just to make a cup of tea.
So, BPOE.
Broken orange pekoe.
Broken orange pekoe.
Who knew there were so many varieties possible from one single tea leaf?
Flowery broken orange pekoe, broken pekoe, broken orange pekoe, fanning, and the dust.
And then the dust.
The kind people of Pedro then demonstrated the ritual. Slurp, aerate, spit, note. Practice precise, almost musical.
So we do, before that, you have to keep the tea in front and slurp it and inhale and exhale through your nose. Mm. So it's like this.
Of course, we had to try it too.
It's alright.
Turns out this is quite an acquired skill.
These ladies have very kindly said I could take a little video of you doing it, working so hard. How many kilos? 20 kilos?
20 kilo one day.
20 kilos one day?
Yes.
Great.
Okay. This level says stick level.
Stick level, get it like this.
This is number 1 tea.
Number 1 tea, is it? Look at this.
This black tea, sir.
Black tea, yes?
Different.
Different?
Different.
How can you tell?
This is silver tea. Silver tea.
Silver tea, that
Silver
one.
tea. Small green.
Wow.
Eat, sir.
Eat?
Eat. No sugar, no pressure. Job, ma'am.
I'm a nurse.
Yes.
Yes.
I work in hospital.
Oh.
No,
No blood?
You're
Low
very
pressure.
much alive.
Low pressure.
Low pressure. Not what we wanted to meet on the way up.
Just behind the factory, up a twisty and windy path that tourists don't seem to take, there was this. The locals call it Lover's Leap. Two people who weren't allowed to be together chose the fall over the separation.
Sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith. In this instance, it's a lover's leap. And take a look at this. This is incredible.
For 2 magical minutes, the sun came out. Funny how even the most beautiful places here are holding a story that nobody tells. So we look out across the valley and we're going
That's Haputale, all the way over there, and we're heading the other side of that hill to go to the tea factory. And it's just coming up to 7:30, time for breakfast, and in an hour's time our tuk-tuk is coming. Big adventure today, big adventure.
– 90 minutes by tuk-tuk into the mountains from Villa Vista. And we walked into the factory that Sir Thomas Lipton built. And thanks to our friend Ayendra once again, who'd made the introduction. And so, suitably decked out in the appropriate gear, we set off on an extraordinary tour with Savi Kumar.
Arrival area.
Here the place we are receiving the
Receiving.
fresh leaves.
Oh, they come here. Fresh
Yeah.
leaves.
Growing around the leaf. Try the leaf.
Previous day's plucking leaves had arrived at 2 in the morning.
Try the leaf.
By the time we got there, they'd been withered, dried, ground, graded and sorted.
Go other side, see the noise in that.
Some of these machines are well over 100 years old, and they haven't stopped. 136 years of
There's
the
a key
same
roller.
process.
Oh, it goes straight into the tea roller.
Yes,
Not every hand here does the same work it used to. Some of it the machines do. But Savi knew every machine in the building. He could tell by touch which grade was passing.
This is grinded.
This is what 136 years of the same thing looks like.
Removing the stems and the coarse part. The stems from the coarse part. Remove that here.
Yes. They're taking the stems off.
Right.
The ones they don't need.
Yeah.
Yes.
That gives you about 2 hours for the fermentation.
Oh, yes.
You can feel still wet, not dried.
Right, yes.
Gives you about 2 hours fermentation. It is in high temperature. It's around 130 centigrades in 20 minutes. Quick dry in the large oven.
Okay.
In that 20 minutes at 30 degrees. It comes out like
Once
this.
dried, we will get like this. Now you can feel the difference.
Ready to drink?
Ready to drink. Removing the stems out. Going to the compost.
Oh, that's going to compost.
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 The
No tea,
stems.
not tea
Not
bags.
tea bag.
That's completely different.
Yes.
Completely different sizes. Whoa.
The different sizes.
Yes.
Yes. And packed like this. This Bandar Eli, this is our brand.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's your brand.
Our brand.
Nuwara Eliya.
Yes.
We know the railway wasn't built for tourists. It wasn't even built for tea, not at first. It was built for coffee until the blight wiped the crop out within a few devastating years. And these same lines got pushed further into the hills for tea instead. Every bridge, every tunnel, every curve cut into the mountainside. The tea wasn't planted for beauty, it was planted for business, and the landscape that millions of people come here to photograph exists because of those decisions. You will say thank you to me? We do, Mr. Subramaniam. Just a few hundred metres down the road from the factory that Sir Thomas Lipton built was his bungalow. We were lucky enough to meet the estate manager and go down there to have a cup of tea. The tourists go to Lipton's seat. But Tommy would have been here, in his garden, where the view is better and quieter and entirely his. The railway wasn't built for tourists. So what happens when the story catches up with the people living inside it? How's your day going, Mel?
Literally can't.
Wow, we made it. We've been here half an hour, and I tell you, my blood pressure has dropped about 10 points. This place has something absolutely magical about it. Over here, look at this. Wowee. The most stunning pool. And even better, it's just us tonight. We're the only residents of this place. This is DIY travel. HindlesWorld, follow us and you'll find places like this. Well, I've had a cocktail. No, I haven't. I've had a swim. Waiting for a cocktail. Come here for a cocktail. But now, we're here for a sundowner. Sun is going down. Might be a nice sunset. And somewhere over there is Lipton's seat, and I think it's the one in the middle at the back, but I'm going to ask our host just to be sure. So Sampath is making the table look lovely for our dinner. Dinner à deux, just the two of us, because we're the only ones staying at the resort. And meanwhile, Sunil is building the biggest campfire you could possibly imagine, while our tuk-tuk driver, Hattie, I think his name is all the way over there, 40 minutes drive. Only 3 kilometres as the crow flies, but it's 40 minutes by the road to get my beer. So it's time to say goodbye to Villa Vista and this fabulous view of Haputale in the background. We've had a cracking couple of days. Shame neither of us have been that well. I've had a heavy cold, and guess what? Gave it to Mez, and she's been struggling the last 24 hours. It's an absolutely stunning day. Just listen and just watch. There's a monkey working its way down that tree. And who knew you'd find staff like Sampath, who looks after all the management of the property, Sunil the gardener, who just gives you a big wave and toothy smile, and Nuwan the chef, just outstanding. Why he isn't working in a top restaurant in Colombo, I just don't know.
From Villa Vista, you could just about see Lipton's seat. It looks so different from down there, smaller.
And the ladies pluck tea as fast as they can go.
Each day we were here, it felt a little less like a destination and a little more like someone's office window. As we made our way up past Dambatenne again, it was still another 7 kilometres up a twisty serpentine road to Lipton's seat. Maybe Lipton did it by horseback, but it's certainly not something you do frequently without transport. Lipton's bungalow was down by the factory, but he'd clear this spot, higher up, a private lookout with views across both sides of the valley when the weather allowed it. Somewhere to go and see everything he owned. There's a word for that. The people we met told us the young aren't coming back to the fields. There aren't enough hands, and nobody's quite sure what comes next. The strange thing about a landscape like this is how permanent it looks in photographs. But nothing here is permanent. These hills look completely different before Lipton arrived. They'll look different again when the last picker leaves. By then I'd realised something. I'd photographed the same bridge, waited for the same light, wanted the same shot of a woman plucking leaves that everyone else on that train wanted. I wasn't any less of a tourist than anyone else on it. I'd just started noticing what the picture left out. We came to Sri Lanka for a train journey. Many days later, standing in a tea field at dawn, I understood that a view is never the whole landscape. One day, different hands, or none at all, will do this work. And somebody will stand here and photograph these hills again and see a completely different story. This is part of our Sri Lanka series. If you haven't seen how we got stranded for 17 extra days, that story's here.